Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So today's video is all about looking at your dies differently. I've got this gorgeous scalloped petals die from Concord and 9th. It makes the most beautiful cards, but is it only designed for one purpose? Well, I'm going to try and help you see today how you can look at your dies a little bit differently and maybe create different fun cards with the shapes that the dies create. So as you can see, I've got all the dies die cut on my desk. I've got a variety of the petals, the leaves, the flowers, the ladybirds, and we're just going to try and see how we can look at them a little bit differently. So these are how they go together. You've got a larger flower die and then there's an additional die that cuts the top off of one flower so you can layer the colours together. And then I've cut the leaves off a couple of the stems because I've got a really fun idea for that. So to get started, first of all, I'm going to glue the two petals together. I'm just using some liquid glue to do that, and I'm just layering them up so that they look nice and even. Once I've done that, I'm going to trim off a little bit from each end, just so that I've got a straight edge, because I think this could make a really pretty butterfly. So I'm trimming them to be 2.5 inches each. I'm just going to discard those pieces and then I'm going to keep it on an angle. Remember, this die set is designed to fill a 4.25 by 5.5 inch card. So to use it the way I'm using it, if I want to make a 4.25 by 5.5 inch card, I'm going to have to put it on the diagonal. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use this background stamp from Concord and 9th from the Christina Warner line with some Lisa Horton Crafts solid gold ink, just to add a little bit of subtle texture on the butterfly's wings. And this stamp was just perfect for that. It just gives that really delicate texture. So I'm just using my magnet to hold my card base down while I line everything up because it's just moving around at the minute. And I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the wings and stick those down. And then the stems that had the leaves on that I've trimmed the leaves off from, I'm going to use those to create the antennae and the body of the butterfly. I have kind of had to flip the die over, so I used my bone fold just to remove the die creases, and then I've trimmed the end off to create the bottom of the butterfly body. I'm trimming off the excess from behind so that it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to add a sentiment from the coordinating stamp set. I was looking at some of the bigger, bolder sentiments, but really to do that, I'd need to add a piece of vellum or something over the top, and I didn't want to do that. So I decided to use the smaller sentiment that says hello. And when I stamped this down onto the butterfly's wing, it was at this point that I thought, I think I'm going to change the antennas on the body to black. I just felt that it would look a bit bolder and a bit more cohesive with the sentiment as well. So I'm just using an acrylic pen here, the Posca Pen, just to colour that in. It also helped to hide the join line as well, where the bottom of the butterfly body that I've created joined up with the two top bits. And I definitely felt that it being black just looked a lot better. I'm going to add some flat back sequins as well to the wings, just to kind of spruce it up a little bit. And then I do decide to add one of the ladybirds as well, just to the bottom left. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue, and I'm just using a wax pencil here just to pick up those sequins. They can be a little bit fiddly and a bit staticky. So yeah, having a wax pencil definitely helps. And then I've just added that ladybird there. And I really love how this turns out. You can see the acrylic paint's a little bit wet still, but I added a little bit of ladybird in the side as well off camera, but I was really happy with how that turned out. So now I'm going to use the leaf dies. These are kind of like the extra pieces you can add onto the leaves. And really, if you look at them, they're just a shape. So they actually pair up really nicely together if you flip them round. And that's what I've done here to create just a patterned geometric style background. So again, that's another fun way that you can look at your die cuts. I do decide to emboss the gold ones. I'm using the Concord and 9th Charming embossing folder just to add a little bit of texture to the gold metallic cardstock. And it really does just add something a little bit extra to those die cut pieces. So I'm just going to stick them all down now using some liquid glue. There's so many different ways that you could do this technique. You could change up the different colours of cardstock. You could do it in rainbow order. You could just use pastel colours. It's a great way of using up scraps as well in your stash. So yeah, I just thought this was really fun to play around with. I'm trimming off the excess from behind with the scissors, and then I'm just using a few of those pieces to fill in the gaps. I'm going to trim the panel down to be 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches, and that's going to give it a nice white border on a US A2 size card base. I'm using some liquid glue to keep it nice and flat. And then for the sentiment, I decided to use the bold So Grateful die from Concord and 9th. Again, I'm just going to pop it up on some foam tape. And then that is the second card finished. So it's just an interesting way of using these dies just a little bit differently. I don't think you'd ever realise it was the same die set. Now the third card is definitely my favourite, and it was creating a shaker card. Now you may look at this die set and think, I'm not quite sure how you'd create a shaker card using it, but I'm going to show you how you'd need to die cut it out. So first of all, you'd need to die cut the bottom part. I'm just using some dies that I've got on my desk to help me work out where I need to cut so that I've got a nice border for adding foam tape behind it. And so you see I cut the leaves out first. Then I'm going to line up the flower head and just work out where I need that to be so that that cuts off that circle piece and you've got that lovely big aperture for a shaker window. I cut a piece of acetate just to be a bit smaller than 5 by 7 inches. This is going to be a 5 by 7 card purely because of the nature of the die set. It is designed to fit exactly on an A2 card. So to create a shaker card would be a little bit impossible without scaling it up because you need a border to add your foam tape. So once I've stuck that down, I'm going to add a fun twist to this card and I'm going to colour the acetate with alcohol markers. So this was really fun to do. I just picked out 2 really bold and vibrant colours, coloured the window, and then I'm going to do it again a second time. You will see the pen marks, but that's part of the effect. It gives it that really fun, kind of playful effect on the shaker window. So I was really happy with how this turned out. I don't have any thin foam tape in my stash at the moment, so I'm just putting some strips of foam tape onto some baking paper, and then I'm trimming them with my scissors down the middle so that I can create thinner strips. And then I'm just going to go all the way around the image. I want to kind of keep the flower head and the leaves separate as shaker windows. This is where the Simon Hurley clear foam tape would have come in really handy because I could have put a little bit as a stopper between the two, but because I'm going to create like a narrow gap where the stem is, it's going to hopefully stop some of the bigger sequins from going between the 2 parts of the shaker card. And when it's finished, it actually looks really good. So ignore the hot mess on the back. I'm going to peel off the backing tape in a moment, but I'm going to just add my sequins to my card. I'm carefully resting it over just to make sure that the sequins are going to fit within the window when I remove the release tape. You don't want any sequins getting stuck underneath the foam tape because you don't want them to be coming out of the card when you shake it. I've just ran my anti-static powder bag over the acetate and the foam tape just so that it kind of reduces any static. And then once I've removed all of the backing tape from the foam tape, I'm going to carefully line up our window onto the card base. And then you can hear the really fun shaker noise that it makes. And the green sequins will stay in the leaves, the pink ones will stay in the flower, but those little silver ones will be able to go between the 2 down the stem. So I really just loved how this was looking. For the sentiment, I could have heat embossed any of the big sentiments on the flower head. That would have looked really cool as well. But I'm just going to stamp this small one that says sending lots of love that curves beautifully around the flower head. And then I'm going to add a ladybird to the leaves as well because I just think it really finished off the card nicely with a little bit of liquid glue, and then that will stick down really nicely. So I really hope that you've enjoyed seeing these cards come together today. I hope that it's given you some inspiration of ways that you can think outside the box with a die set. Maybe it looks like it's only for 1 or 2 ways of being used, but actually you can create lots of different cards with it by just kind of doing something a little bit different and thinking outside the box. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to hype the video as well if you've enjoyed it. And if you'd like to see more from me, then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd love to have you. As always, all the products that I've used today are listed in the description box below. Don't forget, leave me a comment. Let me know which was your favourite from today's 3 cards. And I'll see you in another video. Take care.